Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in your old man Superstock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Daddy. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Welcome along, everyone, to another Wednesday show in the Kokpit with Kinser through to around 8:30 this evening. Hope you've been all well. You know, dare I say, the end of another month looms, and before you know it, spring is just around the corner. If you're like me, I start sneezing, I get runny nose, and I get watery eyes. Hay fever season's coming up, but bring on spring and summer of course, Speedway. We look forward to all of that. Carl Carpendale, how you going, mate? Dave Thomas, and everyone who's already joined on. We've got a special fun show today, but my mate here joins us, bump and run with Craig Booker. How you going, book?
Oh, I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm not too bad at all. Had a good day, like you say. The weather's changing. Speedway's getting closer and closer to the start of the season, so things are getting exciting. I suppose people are out there flat out in their sheds trying to get themselves ready for the opening night, but yeah, it's all exciting stuff moving forward, isn't it, mate?
Oh, definitely. You know, there's a few big meetings, especially up my way. Look, the return of a few big championships to track just down the road there at Huntley. So everyone's looking for the NZ titles coming back. But the excitement with their short turnaround from the previous season, you know, some tracks are getting underway early October. I do note too, some of the tracks have actually got all their calendars out as well. So everything's out and above water, and you can start booking in your accommodation, your favorite track you want to go watch, let alone your favorite meeting that you look forward to as well. So look forward to an exciting Speedway season, I would guess. It should be exciting because there's some big meets on the calendar, and we do have something exciting that's in the pipeline for Craig and I. So,
Yes,
tight-lipped on that, but we'll keep you in touch on that. Look, just for those who tuned in, who are hoping to join us last night, we were going to have a chat with Brendan from, of course, Paler Games. We know him as Bled in the online world, and Paler Games been out for some time now. Mobile application speedway game, the new one called World of Dirt Racing. And I know you've been talking to Bled himself, Books. We're going to catch up with the man himself tomorrow.
Yes. So he's oh, hang on. Here goes a plane. That bloody low over my house, mate. I can't hear it. We'll let the plane go past. How's that? That's good TV, isn't it? Yeah, so we've got Blendy on tomorrow night from 7:30 releasing his game. I've spoken to him. He's feeling a lot better. He got the COVID, so that's what delayed our release on Tuesday. But tune in tomorrow night for the release of that new game. You all out there enjoy his teams racing game on your phones. So this one looks even better, Kins. It looks pretty cool. So we'll hear from the man himself about what it took, and he's going to push the go live button on live on our show. So that's pretty cool, mate. I'm reading that comment too. People can hear the plane going across.
So he must live in the same place as you. There goes our bloody plane. Hey, Madhu, good to have you back on board as always, Madhu. Noah's joined us as well, and Jacob, who's joined us. So just keep those comments coming. Look, we will get to your comments throughout the show when we catch up with Father and Dad, O'Brien, Regan, and Kyra. Looking forward to that. But let's just go back to last Sunday. Had the live stream of our Pop series, our Street Stock series. We headed way down south to Riverside. It was the first of our mini championship meetings. We've got the North Islands coming up. Then we've got the big New Zealand's coming up. Congratulations to the top three in the championship who got on the podium in his number 5 car, 5P, Evan Tyler third. Brad Lane, yes, the real Brad Lane from the modifieds, 119H, obviously, in second. And, of course, our winner, the man himself, Mark Eagle, Mental One.
Hey, that's appropriate, isn't it, mate? Come on, the Bay, first place in the South Island. Hey.
And just quickly whizzing through the feature, which was a special memorial race as well for Cecil. Third, Evan Tyler. Second was Aaron McKenzie. Good to see him up there on the podium
Mm.
in second. And of course, a man who's well known to street stocks in real racing as well, with the actual wagon. And he actually got to take the flag this time. Excuse the little cheekiness there. But Dan Curran won the feature race as well. So he walked away winning that memorial. So as I mentioned, next week we've got the big championship. We're back up in Auckland, and then of course in New Zealand. 2 weeks to go with the Pops online series. And thanks to Pops as well, who's supported us right through this whole time. Big thank you to him as well.
Yeah, mate. We really got to thank our sponsors, don't we? You know, Pops has supported this series very well. Pops Online's Chainsaw. That's popschainsaws.co.nz. You can buy motorbikes, you can buy lawnmowers, you can buy chainsaws, you can buy weed eaters. You can even buy the paint to paint your stock car if you wanted, you know, and duct 100 mile an hour tape to hold together after teams racing. But yeah, Pops Online Store and Pops and Terry's in Taradale, Napier. Go see him. Got the new e-bike, new electric scooter. But looks like he looks pretty retro. So we showed you that last week. So get in there and support Colin as well at Pops. And also we thank FCS Limited as well. That supports our servers. So thanks to them as well. Hey, and the top of the points in the series, overall series, is getting tight too. So it could still go to anybody for your top 3 podium spots. So that's pretty cool too, Kins, you know, like all those people sitting up there ready to go.
Yeah, I see Shane Hawkins made it into the top 3 as well. Brad Lane's up there too, and Steve Emmett still leading as well up the front. So anything is possible, like you say, especially with their top 3. DNF could change this all up and everything. So we still got 2 more weeks, as mentioned, heading up to Auckland for the North Islands, and then of course head down south with the big New Zealand champs as well. So that's how we're rolling out with our Street Stock series online. You can watch the live stream, the build up at 8:15 with Craig Booker, and of course we go live at 8:30. Madu, mate, always good to have you on board. Hey, a big welcome to Wayne and Michelle Taylor from the Naki Coastal Rugby. I knew Wayne came off the title with the rugby team. He's been a great help, and we'll be keeping in touch with Wayne there as well. And yeah, the 12, you're all right, Devs. Good on you, mate. Well done again, the checker flag.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, so just keep an eye on our page, people, because we got something pretty big to announce in the next couple of weeks, and I know everybody is going to love it. So, yeah, we're just finishing off, finalising and doing some things, and then you boys are going to be onto it. So they're saying you're a bit quieter, Kins, there, so I will just adjust your volume here for me. There we go. That'll fix Kins's problem. It's probably because I yelled, David. That's the problem. I'm a loudmouth.
No, it's all good. So, you know, so I'm back to, you can hear me. So thanks for the update there, Dave. Always keeping us on our toes, mate. And I look forward to the exciting news of a event coming up real soon. We're excited. 2 of us are excited. Looking forward to catching up with everyone down there as well. Look, Aaron's just joined in. We just gave you a shout out, Aaron, about getting on the podium, mate, second in the feature race from the E series. So good to have you on board, mate. I suppose we better not keep our 2 guests.
No, I think they've been very, very kind to come and join us, so we'll get them on, Kins, and that's who the people are here to see. You know, they're not here to see me, they're here to see you, the man, and these 2 fellas. So I'm going to jump out and I'm going to bring in Kyron and Regan. Unfortunately, Dominique couldn't make it tonight. She's feeling a bit poorly, a few sick, so you're just stuck with these 2 fellas. So here we go. I'll bring them in.
Going to be a laugh, mate. Thanks, Craig. Good
no
to
worries.
catch up your books, and we'll catch up again tomorrow, as I mentioned. We'll have a chat with Blindy from Halo Games and talk about the upcoming release that's going to go nationwide on your mobile phone. You can see them. They're pretty chilled out, just staring their legs down. Look at them. Regan and Kyron, the O'Brien family, father and son. How you guys going?
Yeah, good. Good.
Oh, mate, can't complain. It's exciting times looking at you 2 and having some fun. I remember the last time we spoke earlier in the year, especially as part of the Hawke's Bay Hawkeyes and the build-up to the teams event, you know, back in April. And we had a lot of fun then, mate. Regan, you couldn't bloody help yourself. We just had so much fun, eh? So what's the update with Dominique? Not feeling well?
Nah, she's been crook the last couple of days, so she thought she might have been able to get over tonight, but she said, I'll stay inside. It's a bit cold here tonight in Napier. I think we're about 12 degrees or 13 degrees, so it's a freezing night. And stay home.
It's not bloody cold. It's not too bad.
Oh, no, not over here. It's freezing.
Really? You guys have it pretty good there, eh? The summertime in your area is always clicking at, what, the high 20s, early 30s sometimes?
Yeah, we've been up around 17, 18 degrees the last few days. It's been shorts and t-shirts. So yeah, tonight it's probably one of the coldest nights over the last 3 nights tonight. And it's probably about, I don't know, 10 degrees or something. But so she's going to stay home. So that's all right. Yeah.
I think in Regan, shorts, t-shirt side of things, you still playing with the gym, mate? You still pumping some iron? What's going on there?
Yeah, I've been back at BFT, so body fit training, doing that in the mornings. Yeah, just trying to lose a few pies and sitting in the office now, so the old pen's not much weight training anymore. And so I'll just lose some weight, get fit again. But I got a new puppy this week, so she's been keeping me awake at night, so I haven't been yet.
Cool. Kyron, is he telling the truth, mate, or is he busy sitting there eating pies in his office?
I just bought me a burger for tea. So
that's cheap night.
How you been, Kyron? How things been going with you, mate?
Yeah, no, all good. Just also just flat out, I want to get into the cars and things, but obviously work takes priority. So hopefully get into them over the next couple of weeks and get them all sorted out. Because before you know it, it'll be blooming practice and we won't have cars together.
Yeah. So let's talk about your season. That's been, look, I know you've done well at the East Coast Champs there as well. And how was your overall season? How did you rate your season? Because you went pretty good, actually, to be honest.
Yeah, better than I intended to go, or expected to go anyway. Obviously, just getting used to the new car and things. I had a couple of meetings off at the start of the season. And then kind of just got the feel of the car, something totally different to what I'm used to driving. And now that I'm used to it, like it, excited for the season coming up. A few little updates on the car and whatnot. And last year we're getting the maximum of what we could out of it. So a few bits and pieces going into it this year, and hopefully take those top 5s to top 3s or more race wins.
Nice.
And things like that. Yeah.
Awesome, mate. Look, I watched the stream of the final night at Miani there, and you dished it out. You done it right on the first one, then you dished it out there. You just wanted to test everything, but you also wanted to have some fun with the boys, eh?
Yeah, you get a little bit boring going around and around sometimes, so you got to have some fun. But no, I think our last 3 meetings were championship meetings, so it was good to try and just, you don't want to blow cars to bits, but have a bit of fun and put them back on the trailer and have a beer at the end of it.
What about the off season? What's been happening much there? Been doing a lot of work, or you just been busy work in general?
Stripped it pretty quick.
Yeah.
Got a couple of side rails and it's come to a bit of a standstill. So we've just sorted out Dad's car the other night. That'll hopefully get done in the next couple of weeks. And I'll bugger all to do to my own. So a couple of crush rails and wait for the motors to get back and put them back together and good to go.
Ready to go for opening night, or see how work falls out? I would guess, just take it one week at a time.
I'm hoping to be ready for practice.
Okay.
As one, the motor will be a little bit later on that. We not long just took that down. So probably November-ish.
Yeah. Hope they're out or mine up and going, which Dom will probably race. So we just dropped the motor off a couple of weeks ago to Chad, and they had a crack in it from Team Sham. So just working out, we've got to reblock my engine. And his one will be ready to go in a couple of weeks' time. So he's got a full fresh Nissan coming from Chad. His last year's motor was fucked.
The only way to put it. Yeah, so you got an Ace performance engine. Both of you say, woo, I got some fast stuff there, because we caught it with Chad on the show a little while back, and he was doing a few tweaks, and he's a guy that just likes to play with the motors, obviously, and he's also passionate about looking after his customers. He doesn't really care if his one goes to shit, really. He'll go and help his customers. So that's one good thing with Chad. He's there for the customers at the end of the day, even at the racetrack, eh? Yeah. What about yourself, Regan? Your season, mate, I asked your son there about his season. How was yours? Up and down? Did you do much at all?
Yeah, no, I think I only raced probably a handful of times.
Yeah.
I started off the season with Dominique racing the car. And then obviously with all that COVID bullshit and fucking double jabs and all that, she's not vaccinated, so she couldn't race, So obviously I had one jab so I could carry on racing. And then, so I thought I might as well buy a license and race the car. It sat in the shed for a couple of meetings. And then I was like, nah, bugger this, I'll get it out. And then, my aim was to sort of just team race with this fella for Team Champs, and then COVID threw a spanner in the works with that for February. And as we all know, it got pushed out to Anzac weekend. And But it was pretty cool to go down to teams champs and race with this guy here, and I got the shit beaten out of me while he was going around and fucking done pretty well actually. Yeah, I was pretty surprised at how well he done. He was worried, you know, like I've teams raced for years, and so he was worried he had a sort of a name to live up to or something like that, you know, an expectation. And I said, don't worry about it, just you go out there and do what you can do. And friggin' how he drove the pants off that car, and I was too busy breaking shocks in the hot laps to even get out there.
No, you're right. You're pretty well summed up, because I was watching a lot of the racing, aside from the teams, and Kyron racing at home as well. You had a pretty outstanding season, actually, Kyron, and Dad is right, you know, to race alongside your dad, you know, that would have been just a, cool thing to do, you know, to race there. And then Dad just saying that racing along next to you, you know, father and son, that doesn't happen that often in teams racing, you know, in any racing, to be honest with you. And I know you've done well in Rotorua as well. So, mate, you had a hell of a season, Kyron.
Yeah, no, it was definitely the highlight of the year was teams racing. I think it's probably the most trust I've ever put on them, looking up and coming into the corner and someone's chasing you right up your ass. And, well, you better get them, or you're going to get a hell of an earful. It was definitely cool. Well, I've played rugby with them before, and that's cool as well. But I think we've been into Speedway for so long, and then always been up around teams racing, watching them do it, then getting to do it with them. No, it's definitely be a highlight forever.
Yeah, something you'll never forget, you know, and that's a bit of history within the O'Brien family as well, but it's something you will never, ever forget. Scott Honeybone, yeah, double trouble, you're right, 100%. Jacob Close, you know, we'll talk about, Jacob's, I'm actually think I'm related to the O'Briens, might be through mum's side, so there might be a bit of a connection. Big Spray, Ray Brook, who's jumped on board, Brody Goodling, that's all we're saying. Hey, Regan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Maru's boy, yeah. Yeah, Maru's boy.
Yeah, he's a nice kid, man. He's cool. Always comes up, says hello. Got a lot of time for him.
Yeah.
I was cruising through Hastings one day, and he was doing the old road patrol.
Oh, yeah?
It was last year or the year before. Cruised along, and big hand waves out. He spotted me driving the old ute or something, and yeah, gave him a beat. So yeah, he's a cool kid.
Yeah. I hear he's a cool kid as well. Ngafa actually has a comment here. Tell Regan I'm still looking for that job. Need to leave Metro.
Nothing wrong with Metro.
We're going to have a bit of fun with this. Hey, you mentioned young kids, you know, some of them wave out to you and everything, the fans. We're going to touch on some of the fans over your racing career, but I want to talk about one particular moment where there was a kid who was getting into mini stocks, mate, and you were coming along, and you know who told me this little story to ask you this. I want to hear the story, because what you told him is what kids need to know, especially when they want to get into a class that develops them into speedway racing or motorsports. And you can do all of that type of stuff. Look, it's a class we share the same thought. It's not a competitive class. It's a class for them to build themselves, get the development, and grow into speedway, as an example. You know, we do not want to see the class become competitive where everyone starts doing what they are, because there's other classes that are competitive, obviously. Yep. But it's a great class. It's a great stepping stone. But in particular, tell me about this young little kid who was talking to you, and he kind of thought, I think, many years, well, you raced mini stocks, but you didn't.
So it was about 3 years ago, I think it was 4 years ago, and I think Kyron was racing the old Jason Long car we had, the Waste Management colours, and I can't quite remember what happened, but before the meeting, we sussed out that the brake pads or something got worn out, and we jacked the car up, and we're fixing the brakes on this car, and I just noticed this little kid, like, he would have been up just past my hips, you know, he's only a tiny little dude. This big hat on, like 10 times the size of him. And so I sort of looked down and I seen this little kid there, but we were busy getting the car sorted. And it'd been probably, I don't know, 8-10 minutes. And I said to him, you're good, mate. And he's like, yeah, can I ask you a question? And I was like, oh, yeah. Like, okay, sweet. Yeah, no worries. And he goes, when you race mini stocks, and straight away in my head, I'm thinking, fucking bro, I'm not that young. I'm mini stocks. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he's like, where did you change gear? Because we're doing clutch starts tonight, and I don't know where to change gear. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, right, if you're at the front of the pack, you want to change it just before the corner. And if you're at the back of the pack, you want to change it just before the start-finish line. He's like, okay, cool, thank you. Because, you know, I know you'd race mini stocks and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, mate, he must think I'm only 20-something, you know. But it was pretty cool. Like, he blew me away because when he said he is his first year mini stocks, I thought he was only about 8 years old. Like, he was a tiny little fella. So I actually made a point of going up to the first mini stock race, and I got up there. I can't remember who was standing beside me. I said, "Oh, this little fella in this car here." I can't remember his first name. The kids nicknamed him Pubes because he was so little, you know. And literally, all you could see over the side of the body was this little helmet, and he's cruising away. And I caught up to him after the race. I said, "How'd you go?" And he goes, "Yeah, that was good, thank you." And you know, it's cool that a little kid like that obviously had, like, number one, had the balls to come and ask at 11 years old, because most kids go, "Where do you change gear?"
They ask.
So yeah, and I thought that was pretty cool. And like I was talking to old Booker today, and our kids of today, we need to keep them involved in Speedway, and we need them to love Speedway, because in 10, 15 years' time, they're going to be our future drivers or our adult spectators or whatever. Because without them, if it dies off, then Speedway dies off.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, yeah, no one really come and asked me that before, but he was a good little kid. And I seen him the mini stock prize given at Miani online the other week there, and he actually got an award this year, and so I always remember him, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he will never forget what you helped him out with as well, you know, and that's all it takes is a little bit of encouragement. And it's very hard for kids to ask these kind of questions, you know. They get nervous, and you're right, before they even get ready. And at least they come to ask you, you know, and that's something you will never forget. And no doubt you will see this kid develop over the years, hoping that he stays in Speedway. And you'll be thinking to yourself, yeah, I told that kid where to change gear one day, you know. He had the balls to come and ask me. He stood there for 8 to 9 minutes. And he had the balls to say, "Oh, where do I change?" You know, and he thought you raced mini stocks. You know, he thought you were a young fella. Thought you a young fella. Hey, you like that one?
He would have said, "Have you raced vintage stock cars?"
So, Cora, did you race mini stocks?
Yeah, I raced mini stocks. Yeah. Obviously, my advice was a little bit different that I got from him. It was don't be a pussy and go as fast as you can. When the car's screaming, change gear. So things have changed over the years. But I raced mini stocks from 12 right through to 16. Then we built a new car, I think probably for my last couple of years. And I started to grow up and out when we were building that car. So I kind of almost outgrew it. Had a turn in a stock car at Harrisville and said,
that was it.
I'm never going back to a mini stock.
Yeah.
About steering and power, so
yeah,
had a couple skids in a stock car and then just went straight to supers.
Yeah, just wanted to go a bit more faster, but it is a great development for Speedway, like you say, you know, without that class and without young ones getting involved at the age of 12, they're starting to do the circuit before they even get a proper license to actually legally drive on the road these days, you know, so it builds a lot more than just at the age of 12. It gives a self-awareness around cars. And everything like that, you know, so just gives them a bit of sense of, you know, enjoying themselves, having fun, taking the odd little bump tap or whatnot, but just being in amongst a whole lot of cars. What about Dominique? Did she do mini stocks?
Yeah, so pretty much when Corin's last season, then Dominique, she was coming she turned 12 like halfway through the season. So we chucked her in the mini stock, and she obviously putted around for the first year, and then she just same thing, built confidence. I wasn't a big one on spending heaps of money on the mini stocks, because for me it was teaching them how to drive, teaching them how to control a vehicle, and enjoying it. Like, my main thing was, as long as you come in and you come in with a smile, I don't care if you get last or if you get first. As long as you come in smiling, I was happy with it.
Yep.
And I was still in the middle of my racing career, racing stock cars. So these kids pretty much, they really did everything on their mini stocks. They had other parents that helped them. I bought ratchet belts so they could belt themselves in. And then my old man would strap me in, run off, check them, you know, and then I'd be like, how they getting on? And so they learned a lot from themselves, just looking after themselves. And
pretty much used to drop them off at the stock cars, pull in the pits, drop them off at the stock cars. I'd jump in the driver's seat, drive to the mini stock park, and then I had a mate, Gibson Tout, pretty much helped me for about 3 years in mini stocks. He'd come over, be halfway through changing a strut or something. Oh, man, you had a crash, all fixed. Oh, yeah, good to go. Let's catch him at the club rooms later on, so we drive him home.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's a great class, and we can see the caliper drivers that have come through the class over many years through the mini stock ranks, and how young they are, particular in super stocks or stock cars these days. Some have become New Zealand champs in their own right, racing different classes from that mini stock class. So it's a great introduction class to Speedway, and it's going to produce many big names many years to come. Al Centuani, yeah, good to have you on board there, mate. Maru Goodley, evening koro. Always good to catch up with there, bro. Next time I'm down in the Bay, actually, Madu, I'll have to call around and have a bit of a catch up. Carl Carpendale, both well-respected lads, awesome to talk to down-to-earth people, talking about used to, and always good for a chat and a beer, eh? You're down-to-earth blokes, you have a good laugh and have fun.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Just I love it. As you know, I love a good yarn.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think I need to shut up a bit more than I do. But yeah, no, you got to. I just love the crowd, like the spectators. Take the time out to talk. If kids are coming up, jump in the car, take a photo.
Yeah.
I just love talking to people. Yeah,
I was just talking to Craig Booker before we went to air tonight, and I was thinking, and I've seen it done on the V8 Supercars when you watch it on Sky. Maybe something Speedway New Zealand need to implement is with the drivers, get out one of those little white fold-out tables, sit it next to your car, and when you do your drivers brief meeting, and the announcer says, "Look, fans, if you want to go meet your drivers, have your selfie, get an autograph, or go and have a chat with them, get to know them." It's open now for about 20 minutes or so before the racing starts. And that's just from something I noticed on the V8 Supercars when you have all your big names there, all the fans go through. I know they do it at Palmy teams and everything like that. They do that and meet the drivers. That's a given there. But, for like standard club nights, something like that. I'm not too sure whether they do it at the New Zealand Champs as such, or the North Island, South Islands Grand Prix, or anything like that. But I think it's a good way to start interacting with the fans, because the fans, without them now, they're important to everyone.
Yep. And they're paying good money to get into meetings
totally.
now. And so, I think that's a good idea, doing something like that, especially just on a club night, because when it's a club night, you still got kids there that are looking up to you, wondering what you're going to do that night, Back in the stock car days when me and old Mike Mack were out there just smashing everyone, like kids would come up, "Who are you going to get tonight? What number are you going to get tonight?" You're like, "Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't like blue this week, so I might have a blue car, The kids all like,
Yeah, they love it. Amron Broadhurst, who's who, had to throw that on there. Had to throw it in there. Hey, Ben Gates. Oh, that's your dad, eh? That's your dad. You said that earlier. You're the mini stock driver. There's your dad. Thomas Jr. Hudanui watching. Good to have you on board, Thomas. Caleb Island. This is going to go a bit funny. For you, Kyron, why do people call Kyron Michael? It's a family show, remember? You can answer it in a family way? No, you can't. I'm trying to get you stitched up there, eh?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
He wants to.
He's the one that bangs around with the Michael, so he's all right.
Okay, we'll leave it at that then. Brett Greg, hey Regan, haven't seen you since our street stock days, mate.
Yeah, that's going back a few years.
Yeah. What are we talking?
Oh, sure. What are you now? Coming up 27, eh? 20 years. So yeah, be easy over 20 years. Yeah, that I race street stocks. Yeah, I did street stocks about 4 years and went through about 6 cars, and then that was it. We'll be 22 years because Dominic was a baby when I first started racing my first stock car.
Yeah. So you went through 6 cars on bloody street stocks. Were you a rough bugger or something?
Yeah, I wrecked 2 of them. I started off buying an old XY Falcon off Aaron Imunger. It was an old 4-speed floor change 250 Falcon. I paid $500 for it. It was lime green. And it lasted me like 3 meetings, and I blew the gearbox out through the floor, hitting old Wally True. And we actually broke Wally True's wrist that year, and he was winning races, and I hit it. Tony Mellings held him up, and I hit him and broke his wrist. And then that year at Team Champs, he had a heart attack from a blood clot from the operation from his wrist.
Oh.
We were meant to kill him. And then, built another Falcon, wrote that off the same year. And then I finished, we built an XD Falcon, me and my old man. We stripped it right down, fully seam welded it. And then we're just causing havoc in street stocks because Mike Mack was in street stocks as well. And, we were just wrecking cars, and I was like, man, I got 2 kids now. I've got 2 kids, and I'm 20. I need to get a stock car. So I bought an old Bryce Penn car off Andy McCabe.
Yep.
And we raced that for a season, and just didn't look back from there, really.
Yeah.
I watched a video the other day of the first of my team's race was, what year was that? 2000. It was in Bay Park that year when the PT Cruiser did the big unveil.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I got boned out big time by my own teammate, old Shiny, and blew all my ligaments and my hip and everything. And me and Mike were talking about it the other day because he raced my car the second night and nearly got knocked out from Rarui in the PT Cruiser. And I said, bro, that's the first time I ever teams raced. How come I fucking like it? I got hurt. Idiots. Yeah.
So that car you spoke about when you moved from street stocks into your stocking, is that how long from that, or was that the car you got the 3NZ in?
Nah, so that car there was an old Gorge chassis, and we raced it for a year, and the motor was offset in that thing, but I had only about that much room, and I had to slip my left leg down to get to the clutch pedal from the gearbox. So I was sort of straddling the gearbox but offset.
Yeah.
And we raced it for the year, and I said to my old man, I was like, bro, we either do a faster motor or we build another car that's comfortable. So we kept the motor, built another car.
Yeah.
I raced that for about 4 years, and then I built the car I got 3NZ in. And and then we had that one for about eight years before I sold it, I think 7 years. But we built all our own cars. The only one, his Super, and the other Super that we bought off Shane Bracken and Jason Long are the only ones we haven't built.
Yeah.
But it was way easier building a stock car back then than it was maintaining a street stock. They were just out of control back then. When street stocks, they'll Reg Reed and all that from Matamata. They used to race with my dad, and they used to drums on the doors, and they were cool old days of street stocks. I loved them, but way too much work.
Yeah, we got a couple of mates actually doing that E-Series you spoke about online. We've got a couple of real drivers racing with us as well, and they're having some fun on the online stuff. And actually talking about and gave credit to our creator of our online E-Series with the tracks, and says this is just right on the target with some of the stuff with Don at Kokpit, with the online racing with the R Factor 2. So it's been pretty cool hearing all of this. Aaron Lewis, Garage 16, Aaron, he also races with us as well online. Just loving the convo, we're just chewing the fat, Aaron, having a bit of fun, and everything like that. When you have these two, double trouble, as Scott Honeybone said, mate, it's only going to be fun. Carl Carpendale, for both years actually, with you, Kyron, first, your best track and worst track.
Best track, I love Rotorua.
Yes.
Worst track, probably Wellington. I've had bad luck at Wellington. Always had bad luck down there.
Yourself, Regan?
Yeah. My best track, same here, Rotorua. Obviously, I've got 3NZ in my stock car in Rotorua, and I always love that tight corner. So Rotorua would be my best track, and to be honest, my worst track probably, I don't know, probably Stratford, really.
Yeah.
I've never had any luck over there. Hey, nah, Auckland's all good.
All good. Big wide track. Stratford, nice and short, eh? Yeah,
it's probably Stratford. I've only raced over there a few times, but I've been disqualified over there. I've wrecked my stock car over there, so I don't go over there much. And it's quite hard case how you two mentioned Rotorua. Everyone I've asked this, especially in the stock car, super stock class, and the question always pops up. It's a given on every show here, best and worst track, and most have always said Rotorua. Why? I wonder why. What's your take on it, Kyron? Why did you pick Rotorua? I know Dad's going to say the 3NZ side of things, but why you in particular? I know you went recently good there, but it just seems to be the common answer when I ask drivers. It seems to be Rotorua.
Yeah, I just like the atmosphere. Like you can't get a better atmosphere than Team Champs, but Rotorua's atmosphere is like a Bogan Coliseum. Like it's not, you kind of just sit in your car and you look up and it's just straight up. Grand Parade's always cool. I think it's just because it's all terrace seating, and I seem to go well there every time I race there. I go pretty good. So I really like that track. Just it's different. It's not the same old. And it kind of puts everyone on the same par. Like you could have the fastest car, but if you can't get around that tight corner, then you're going to drop back. And that's what I like, is that he runs on the same par around there. So definitely, it'd be my favourite, and I'll be trying to get back there this year.
Yeah, you're right. How it sinks down below and all the crowd, and you can feel it. You can see the atmosphere, especially when it comes to 240s, year in and year out. That final race, that third and final race to decide who is going to win it, that is just, I don't know, gets more unreal every single bloody year, and you can feel it and you can see it from the crowd. And yeah, it's just since Stan and Sonia put on an amazing show there, all the time. Well, aside from the 3NZ for you, Regan, winning it there, why do you love the place?
You just always feel welcome,
Yeah.
And the same thing, you've got the terraces and all that, and it's pretty cool sort of looking up at everyone, not looking out at everyone. But yeah, and also the track, it's a leveler. Like Kyron said, I've drummed it into him and Dominique when, Dominique, she won the girls' champs up in Rotorua.
Yes.
And I've drummed it into both of them. If you can get out of that tight corner, then if you peel 3 cars into the tight corner, you got half a straight ahead of everyone. And that's one thing I've always learned up there. So I love the track. It just evens everyone out. You really got to think about coming into that tight corner. Can't just throw your car in there because you just smash the wall. You don't come out. So, but yeah, feel welcome. It's cool spot. Stan and Sonia, they're lovely people. They always say hello to you. Not so much Stan because he's always on the grader or the water truck.
Yeah.
But Sonia's always welcoming, and yeah, it's I'd like to get up there more and race up there. So, but yeah, this year we'll get Kyron up there before the 240s, I think, and probably take Dominique up as well. She hasn't raced the super up there yet, so yeah. But no, it's a cool place to go to.
Actually, Dominique, we're talking on. We'll talk about a team soon, but Dominique, is it the Cowgirls? KB Cowgirls?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she did a bit of that, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, she's done 2 or 3 years of having a go at teams racing, and yeah, she really enjoyed it. She loved the Cowgirls. She's still a part of their little crew that they got, even though last year she didn't have a stock car. But yeah, no, she really loved it, and she enjoys the stock car more than the super. She wished I hadn't sold the stock car, but for me it was easier to get another. Well, not really easier to get another super, but have 2 supers, and then we can go to the same place instead of he wanting to go to Rotorua and Dom wants to go to Wellington, Yeah. But yeah, she's back in the super this year, so I'll take her to Rotorua. She's been offered a few stock cars to do the Cowgirls last year, but I told her she had to pay for the damages, not me. Yeah.
You must enjoy yourself, obviously, the importance of family car and having dad there. You got your sister there as well. The family side of it, it's just massive. And we always seem to talk a lot about families, the big involvement with families. It just doesn't happen overnight. It just doesn't happen in this year, get things ready, because once you got one meeting done, you're out the next morning either cleaning your car and working on the damage. It's just about a pretty full-on job at night, isn't it?
I just hope Dominique's listening to what you said then. Cleaning the car and you're fixing the damage. So my car's still on the racks from the last meeting at Miami, and it's still dirty and it's still damaged. Dominique was the last to race it.
But let's talk the cruise though. The family input, it's valuable. But you got your crews that's always go through the highs, the lows of your racing. You're out there doing the job on the track, going hard out and trying to keep out of trouble or just dishing it out. But then you got the crews that are back in the pits working on your guys' cars. It doesn't happen just from used to. It's a whole team effort.
Yeah, we're sort of we're lucky. My dad, he raced street stocks for 20 odd years, and then he gave up to help me in my stock car and become, my crew chief. And the cars always stayed in his shed. And, for 20 odd years, we've been going to Granddad's on a Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, fixing the cars. And it's only this last couple of years I bought a property that had a big shed. So we've got the cars at my house now. And I've sort of told Dad, stay home. It's winter. He's 63, so he doesn't need to be in the shed at night on a freezing cold night. We just leave it up to him.
And he does 3 of us to 1 of us.
Yeah. So
my hair's gone.
He does all the work on the cars now. I just pay him a wage, and he works on the cars. But yeah, but it's if, on a race night, if we didn't have the old man there, I'd be running around like a blue ass fly, looking after him, looking after myself or Dominique, and We're lucky her boyfriend, Warner, he's an engineer. So last season he came out and helped as well. And we've always got Josh Swinnell. He races a stock car, but when he's not racing, he gives us a hand. And Ben Milne, Ben started off in the Super this season, and unfortunately he blew his motor, which is a bonus for us because it gave us a spare pair of hands in the pits. And it's good. Dad plays a big part, and then so does the mates, and
Awesome.
it's cool.
Another big part, obviously, of keeping you guys going is sponsors. And I know you're trying to do some sponsor package side of things as well, without sponsors and the investment from them. And I'm guessing your workplace has a big investment and so forth. That's why you got the young fella doing a bit of overtime, bit of extra work here and there. And he's smiling, looking at me. But, sponsors, you can't do without it, and they mean so much to many motorsport drivers.
Yeah. And that's it. Like Dominic put out that thing about a month ago about his sponsors, and new ones want to come on board, and even if it's a drop off a tire or $100 fuel voucher, it helps out because without sponsors, there's no way I could fund my car, let alone race his car, and he's got out and found a few sponsors for himself, and Dominic's done the same. So they're a big help. But even if it's $1, that still helps towards everything, and you can't do without them. There's no way you could race without them.
So if we do a bit of a call out to anyone who's watching the show and anyone wants to get associated with the O'Brien Motorsport, the O'Brien Racing Team and so forth, what's the easiest and best way to get in contact with you guys and maybe show some generosity or want to put their logo on your car? What's the easiest and best way to do this?
Oh, probably just the old Facebook page and message that, and Dominic keeps quite a close eye on that page. So if anyone's willing to jump on board and have a sticker on the cars, more than welcome. Dominic takes care of all that. So we don't go, we want $1,000 or anything like that. We just, if you want to offer, and we'll take you on board. Yeah. It's Facebook page is probably the easiest way to get hold of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, look, I've got a bit of a big mouth sometimes. I opened my mouth last week and I fell into something that myself and Craig's going to be doing, which is going to be special. And I'm thinking here, looking at you two, and I'm looking at this Kokpit logo over to my left, and I'm thinking, I'll throw some coin and this will put it on your car or something, just to promote our online. And my mind goes nuts when you start talking like this stuff. And I just give generously because it's the kind of stuff I do in our little community and all the other avenues that I work with. And I'm always thinking about these ideas to help out, and I'm a stickler for not saying no, mate. I'm keen as so I can look at this bloody logo and I'm thinking of your two cars, and a few hundy here and there, and it all, let's get it out there, and just to brass other people off. I don't care, all those other ones. I just want to brass them all.
We'll chuck the old sticker on there.
Okay, mate. All right, done deal. Hey, Dominic's actually jumped in here now, so she's watching now. So you're in the shit now. We are currently hiring crew on the 52B Superstock. The driver doesn't really know what to do.
Yeah, because the driver. Oh, wait, on what driver is she talking about? Me or her? And that's the thing with Dominic. Like, she can weld. She gets out in the shed and she gives it a good shot. She always says, I don't know what to do. And I said, because you don't come out enough, love. Come out more and we'll teach you more. But no, it's, hey, any crew's always good. But with old Dominique, I hope she's talking about herself.
Mate, what's good though, with her and having you two there, and I think you said her partner does a bit of welding as well, so there's the opportunity in many ways to learn the trade. Dylan Ashton, for you, Regan, ask Regan how the glass he dropped tonight is.
It's not good.
Is that one of your workers?
No, old Dylan, because he works down the road, eh?
Dylan Ashton.
Okay. So as Craig said earlier on, Kyron bought his daughter a little 50C Honda motocross bike. So it was at work tonight, and I thought I'd be smart. It was just parked in the office, so I drove it out of the office into the workshop, and Kyron was talking to one of the boys, and I forgot it had a centrifugal clutch on it.
Yeah.
And when you revved it up, it had a little bit of a miss in it. So I was standing there, and I thought, I just got a bit of a miss in it. So I revved it up, and I wasn't even on the bike. I was standing beside the bike. So I did the old rev up.
It
I was
took
still
off.
in first gear, and it took off. I ran up the sawhorses. I did skid marks. It bounced, and then probably from me to probably into this couch was my double glazing glass rack with all my glass for all my windows. And I smashed 3 double glazed units, fell on the ground, a door fell over, and I had a door. Yeah. And then I was sweeping up all the glass, and then, these young fellas, out with the phone. Yeah. So all I say is, kids, be careful on the Pee-wee 50 because they are powerful.
So, Corin, did Dad let you kick his ass after that?
I just made sure the bike wasn't broken, but he's with it anyway, so it's out of the shop.
Yeah, the accelerator was quite sticky, so I'm not going to put my granddaughter on it because if the accelerator holds down, it stays on. I found that out tonight. So
I'll pop to the shop in the morning and get it fixed.
Yeah. They're a good little bike. They're a good little starter class for a bike for kids. Might have to get Craig Booker to have a look at it. He knows all about those bikes and everything. But they're a good class to start with. My little grandson, that's where he started. Same thing, a little 50cc thing, and they're a cool little class. Harley Rob, this is going to be funny. Here we go. We got SpongeBob, yeah. You remember that, eh?
Yeah.
That little bloody sponge down there. Stink sponge it was. But we're going to have to catch you a Harley. Actually, it's been some time because I know he's building his car and it's looking pretty damn good, actually. And he's looking forward to getting out there. Ask Kyron if he still has more hair, than his old man. Here we go.
Not really, bro.
Not really.
I just shaded this bit with some mascara for tonight. Make it look more.
Yeah, young Brody's always good for a question. Madhu's son, Brody Goodley, how the super stocks coming along with you two? Just quickly, I know we quickly briefed over this earlier in the show. So just for you, Kyron, how's your super stock coming along for the upcoming season?
Yeah, just a little bit more steel work to do on it. And then once the motor's back, put the motor in. Good to go.
Need to wash my one. Pull the broken parts out of it. All I've done is taken the motor out and took it to Chad. So a lot of steel work to be done and a lot of sticker pulling off and repainting. So we'll be there hopefully before Christmas.
Oh, Brody James, Brody James watching as well. Which one's Regan? It's interesting when you look at them. All these questions are coming in. Yeah. Oh, Aaron McKenzie, who races with us. Aaron does a bit of work crewing for Quinny. You're right. So we need these guys online with us sometimes, and they have a bit of a race. Have you actually done any simulation stuff? I'm not too sure if I asked you this back at that Teens Builder. Have you done any? Because you're the younger version there, Cara, and you would have got into the old gaming side of things. Have you done any gaming sim stuff?
Yeah, I've done a little bit. Mainly for the big first lockdown. I just not on board a computer, so I thought I was a professional then. But I was actually just talking to Booker today. I've got a computer sitting in my lounge. It does nothing because I don't know, something's wrong with it. So he's going to have a look at it, and I might try and have a skid with his one night or something.
But are you, Regan, jump and then have a skid sometime, eh?
Oh, I jumped on his one and had it turn in the midgets, and all I was doing was pulling a wheel stand, crashing it, rolling it. I didn't get the gist of it. I'm still like the old PlayStation with a X button and a little control pad.
Yeah, the old school stuff. You'll have to go around to Booker's, mate, jump on one of the other ones he's got at his place, have a bit of fun. Actually, you could jump on that when Booker's there, and then Kyra could race this other computer. We'll get that sorted, and we'll have a bit of fun, eh?
Yeah, I just sit behind the seat, smacking him in the head.
Hey, you just push the escape. You don't have to clean that car. Push the escape and it's fixed up and we're ready to go again. So, look, we could do that as a guest appearance sometime. It'll be a fun night, and we'll all just roll the hell out of you. Everyone want to smash you. You know how it goes.
I know. Yeah.
Mental. Mark Eagle, mental smash to both of you.
Yeah. He probably paid me back from when he raced stock cars years ago.
Yeah, what was that like, racing against him? Did you just give it to each other? Because he just used to putt around in his 51B.
Yeah, no, I can't remember if I hit him or anything, but he done good. He out there cruising around. He enjoyed it, and he stirred it up. He loved it.
Yeah,
so, No, it was
So,
good.
did he cut the grass a lot? He's well known in the online world for cutting the grass, mate. He's got a sponsor called John Deere for some reason. So, did Mark Eagle honestly cut the grass at Miani?
Oh, he never came off it. He was always on the pole like this all the way. It's the only way you couldn't hit him.
Dominique's jumped in here. I don't know what to do and dared to sleep by 8 o'clock. There you are. There's your answer.
Yeah, it's because I'm up at bloody 4:30.
Up at 4:30. Hey, aside from the speedway side of things, for you, Corin, what else do you do out there aside from getting ready for speed? I suppose you're too busy to do anything else. You know, some guys I've spoken to go outdoor, they go mountain bike riding, some play rugby, all that type of stuff. What do you do that's aside from speedway?
McDonald's.
I usually play rugby. I haven't didn't play this season because broke my hip last year. Not team's gone, the one before. So just been dealing with that. But I'm going to give rugby league a nudge again this year. That was meant to start last Saturday. So hopefully it starts this Saturday. Get into that and then follow on through with rugby. And I'll pretty much play rugby right through the racing, then race, then rugby, then race, and I'm just a front rower that just loves pies and race cars.
Who do you play for?
Napier Tech.
Yeah.
Play rugby for them, and this year I'm going to go play rugby league for Clive. So
Okay.
I haven't played league since I was probably about 16.
Yeah.
There's not a big comp here, but give me something to do. I can't wait to get back out there. It's been about 2 years since I played a game of footy.
Wicked. Booker was just telling me Taradale's the club, eh? That's the best club.
Oh, yeah, he's at a head knock. No.
You play a bit of rugby in your time, Rick? Did you get out there and run around with the ball?
Yeah, played rugby for years. Sort of gave up my last, what was it, 2017 was my last year playing rugby. Yeah, I did. I took up. I did a little bit of bodybuilding for a little while.
Yeah.
2017, I was doing that, so sort of focused on that and played a little bit of footy while I was doing the bodybuilding, and then 2018 I got bloody influenza A and ended up in hospital. So sort of gave up rugby, and my aim this season was actually to get back out and played in the old senior threes, and I blew my bloody knee out in November at the gym. So that was just too old for running. But yeah, so I sort of missed playing footy. It was good, get out with the boys and have a beer on a Saturday. But I'm tempted to go and have a game of league. I haven't played league for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, they tried to talk me into it last week.
That's why he keeps this in his office.
Strap everything up, eh? But yeah, so I don't know. I know if I go have a game of bloody league, I'll love it and keep playing, or I'll get bloody broken. But yeah, league's a pretty cool game.
Oh, well, mate, if that ever happens, I'll talk to Craig Booker. He'll come down. We'll go a live stream with it and see how you go, mate. You might last 10 minutes, but hey, at least you're going to get out there and give it a go. Look at your son. He's going, no way.
30-second live stream, mate.
Oh, 30-second live stream.
Oh, so I was out running this fella last year or the year before, touch rugby in summer. Couldn't keep up. Yeah.
How'd the bodybuilding thing all pop up out of the blue from the rugby? How did that all happen? You know, did you want to be did you want to be bloody Arnold Schwarzenegger or something?
Oh no, I was looking more towards Jean-Claude Van Damme. My wife, she obviously, women go to the gym, and she was the gym she was going to called One-to-One Fitness at the time. The coaches were hard out into bodybuilding, so they talked her into doing it. And then so I went to a competition with her in Taupo, and spent the whole day there with her, and she did it, and I was sort of like, oh, yeah, this is not too bad. And at that time, I was going to the gym with her, moral support, and I thought, oh, it'll benefit me doing a bit of weights and fitness.
Awesome.
And then her coaches sort of got into my ear a little bit. Said, why don't you give it a go? Nah, I'm not getting up on undies on the stage. And they're like, no, that's all right. So I was training at the same gym, and then they sort of just talked to me, and I jumped on the same diet, and I thought, well, fuck, I might as well give it a go, bucket list thing to do.
Yeah.
So I went from I think I was about 108, 110 kilos, and I got right down to 72 kilos.
Oh.
And, so it was dropped right down in weight. I was funny actually. I had old Sam Bartholomew that races.
Yeah.
He come into work to see me one day, and I was depleting for a competition that weekend. And he sort of walks in. He's like, "Hey, how's it going, Regan?" And he's just like staring at me, and I'm like, "This cunt thinks I'm sick. He thinks something's happening." So I was talking to him, and then he walked off. And I was talking to Mike Mac later on that night, and I said, "Oh, Sam coming today. I think he thinks I was sick or something." He goes, he rang me up straight away. I was like, "Bro, has Regan got cancer or something? He's bodybuilding." So yeah, and but yeah, it was a good mental challenge. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you go to the gym, you pump weights, but 95% of it is mental, man, and you know, and diet. You know, you're not going to get abs eating just pumping weights and eating takeaways. But I really enjoyed it. It has crossed my mind again to get back in the gym just for a target because I'm not doing anything else, you know. But yeah, definitely getting up on stage was fear factor.
Yeah.
You know, you getting up there because you got 8 people in front of you judging what you look like. But for me, it was getting up there and going, yeah, I done it. I gave it a go. I totally crapped myself, but the chocolate biscuits out the back were mean.
Hey, ritual stuff, you know, everyone's going to ask, they put a couple of questions here, rituals before you go racing, but Mike Pugh has just, how are you, Regan, from Mike Mickey, so he's jumped on. Rituals, any rituals you kind of do, or you got anything that's kind of good luck? You know, some people might have those lucky undies that you could have done your bodybuilding in, Regan, but you know, anything lucky, Kyra, anything lucky that you had before that you wear for racing?
No, not really. Yeah,
Not really?
I used to have some chicken flavor socks.
Yeah.
But,
oh, wow.
Yeah, I still shit with them on, so they went in the bin.
Nah,
nothing really. Just,
nothing.
Yeah, just only ritual I have is I always just make sure I have a big breakfast and then I don't eat after lunchtime. Or try not to eat after lunchtime.
Yeah.
That's powder weight though, eh?
Yeah, I need to just have a little bit less weight in the seat. Yeah. But no, it's mainly just in case anything happened. But that's the only stink ritual I've really got.
Yeah.
From that, just lots of hope.
Yeah. You rigged? Do you have anything?
Nah, nothing. I just I haven't. Just I get it. I don't care what undies I'm wearing or whatever. Half the time I'm wearing no undies.
Mark Eagle must have been watching us and listening to us because he knew we had you on, and he just called us a whole bunch of dorks. You know?
Oh, yeah. We'll see what he's like when he's pissed at Team Champs again.
Hey, we all know he will be too, eh? So.
Yeah.
He's a good laugh. He's a good laugh. Hey, before the show wraps up, we only got a few more minutes to go before it clicks over 8:30. But, you know, looking forward to the season, no doubt, both years. You got a bit of work to do on your car. And let's hope you get to see you out there on the track November. Just quickly, teams, the pinnacle, I would guess, for both years, let alone racing in April, father and son and the Hawkeyes. You'll be looking forward to, well, actually, Kyron, I'm guessing you're going to put your name up for the Hawkeyes? Yeah. What are you doing, Regan?
Oh, hey, I'm always there. Like,
okay.
Even though Dominique's going to be racing the car pretty much full time this year, you know, if the boys are short and they need to go to Wellington and need an extra car, I'll be there to chuck a body on, you know. After what happened this year, it sort of made me not second guess, but I've got a business, I've got grandkids, I've got kids that want to race. So I'm I'm taking the back step. I want to let them go and have a turn. I want to support the kids. You know, that was the last race I've done. The last time I stepped in the car was against the Panthers, and we were meant to be at the next race after, you know, what happened. But it's just I've been racing for 26 years or something. And
wow.
It's time for me myself. I feel like I need to sort of step back a little bit. The kids have always been on the back burner. You know, I always had my stock car. They always couldn't race one night because I had to go team racing somewhere else. So it's their turn now. My turn to support him and the Hawkeyes.
Awesome.
And if they need me, I'll be back.
Mate, no, I think the other answer to your question there is Ethan Rees hits hard, eh? So.
Yep. That fella, he knows how to hit. It's always good. I love teams racing against those fellas because, you know, you're up for a battle. And, yeah, that Anzac weekend, geez, there was a plenty of drive on that track, and those boys were hitting hard.
Hey, Mike Hughes just jump in there. Do you remember Easter when I came down with Andy and Rinso?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Mikey, he's always good. He's always,
Mikey.
every time you see him, hey Regan. Yeah. So, yeah, Andy and Rizzo. So that's going back a few years. Mike, I don't think Mike had grey hair then.
Hey, before we do wrap up this little show tonight, I'm just going to get you to do one thing because I know you showed me earlier in the piece that for the viewers who have hung in here to watch the show, I just need you to turn that light off and go do a bit of a demo on that big picture that's up the back there for me, please, Kyron. Let's give it a bit of a show off, eh? Let's do it tonight.
Oh.
There you go. Yeah, that's real cool, all right.
So, yeah, thanks to Zach Lawrence for that. Kyron got that done for my birthday. And, yeah, no, it's pretty cool. So yeah, it sits up there in the office, and yeah. So if anyone wants anything like that, get hold of Zach Lawrence. It's well, they call it 4D. So the stock car, 3D. Yeah, and the stock car in O'Brien's is actually all protruded off the frame, and with the lights in behind it. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
No, that is cool.
Yeah. So in my office here, I had all my trophies lived in boxes at home. So when I got this new workshop, I brought them in here and set them all up, and yeah, it's actually quite a good talking point for people when they come in.
Only 2 of them. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those who've been watching, look, we've spoken a bit about the racing career, other stuff you've done, and I can see a bit of a next thing there as well over to your left-hand side, my right-hand side. But, let's talk about the business. You spoke a bit about the little 55cc motorbike smashing glass and whatnot, and everyone had a good laugh. So tell me quickly before we wrap up, what's the business, what you do?
So we fabricate windows and doors. So I've been in business now 11 years for myself. Started off doing aluminium maintenance, so just fixing little rollers, window handles. Bryce Cross, who races stock cars, he's been working for me for about 9 years now, and we're just growing the business. And so we started double glazing houses, and then July last year, just before their lockdown, I signed a license with Fairview Windows.
Yes.
And then in November, they launched a brand new brand called Next Windows and Doors. And so yeah, we were the fourth one in New Zealand to be licensed to sell Next Windows and Doors. So yeah, we're doing that now. We've got what is there, 11 or total? 12, yeah, 12 of us in total on staff. And Kyron, he runs all the boys out in the Kyron tries to organise the boys in the workshop. So he does a good job. He's actually, the only way I could get him to catch up to me was put him under a lot of stress out in the workshop, and it's working because his hair's not growing back. So he runs all the boys, and yeah, we're pumping. We're booked out till next year for installations, and it's the government saying the new housing's slowing down, but it's crazy in Hawke's Bay.
Yeah, I could imagine. Mate, when you got nice weather like you do have in the Bay, I hear about it a lot from Booker. So I know you have a lot of sunny weather down there. Your temperatures just blow everything away when it comes to summertime. It's only a few weeks away, or I think spring's already started actually, but summer's not far, and that also means the speedway season. Hey, like you say, Carl Carpendale, yeah, it is actually, mate. You're right. Absolute fantastic show tonight. Been an awesome show. I knew it would be an awesome show, and I knew I was going to be catching up with you two. We knew we were going to have a hell of a lot of laughs. We had a lot of laughs back in the day prior to the teams as part of our teams build-up. But I do wish you all the best for the upcoming season. Do jump on board and jump on the Facebook page, O'Brien's Racing Team. That's how you'll find out. Send them a message if you can to throw a bit of money their way, help out and get your sticker or your logo on their car for the upcoming season. And exciting times ahead with these two. And it's been an awesome show as always. And I do thank you on behalf of Kokpit joining our show tonight, and hope you both go well for the upcoming season, eh?
Yeah, no, thanks you guys for having us on board. It's always great fun. Yeah. You can shut Kyron up. He's always yarning.
But when I walked away when I bit used to, and I bumped into the Hawkeyes at their Palmy teams when I was down there, and I just walked around telling you, man, they were the bloody coolest dudes ever, just so open, and it's just easy to have a chat with, and I think that's the way it needs to be, and it's a good way to interact, not with just myself, but with all the fans, and that event just turns it up. But I do thank you for that part as well, coming in and catching up with you, meeting Quinn and the boys, and it was really awesome. I'll never forget that. So thank yous.
Nah, no worries. Anytime.
Bang. Sounds like a good plan. Also,
Well,
take care, eh? Thank
Yeah,
you.
no worries. He's got to go back to work now.
All right. Just quickly before you go in, Dave Thomas, up our way. Are you going to be at the Huntley teams?
Not too sure yet.
Yeah.
I know we've been invited, but also we've got every year we race Wellington Wildcats.
Yes.
With a down there and one here. So yeah, that's probably number one on our priority first because we've got to have that with them. We do it every year. So hey, never know. Hawkeyes be at teams champs, Huntley, and for sure on cars, I'll be back up there.
Mean, mate. Awesome. Take care, you two. Good to see you again. See you
Yeah,
around.
cheers, boys.
Same. Cheers. Hey, Muddy Goodley. Yeah, big thanks, team. Great night, and thanks for taking our time, with the natives, as he would say, Madu. And thanks for introducing your son with the comment as well, asking a few questions. Craig, mate, you couldn't have had a fun night tonight here on the show with those two.
Oh yeah, you always knew there was a bit of a crack up, and yeah, I liked some of the stories and talking about the fans, like that one about that young fella that stood there waiting for advice, and oh shit, hang on, we're getting a bit of feedback. I'm so loud. I come through too loud, I think. So I'll just talk a bit quieter, shall I? So people don't think they have to blow their speakers away. Yeah, but like a lot of people could take a bit of advice from that, about these young kids. They want to talk to the drivers, and I think that idea of us talking what we were talking about before, that clubs could do it on a club night, maybe after the scrutiny, after the drivers briefing, you have the club could organise a session for the kids and families to go down to the pits and see the drivers. Say the drivers, okay, after this meeting, go stand in front of your cars, do some autographs and talk to the fans, because like Regan said, the other ones we've got to keep coming back, these kids that could be the next drivers or the next adult spectators, So yeah, I think that's very good too. Another thing to do, So maybe if some of the clubs are watching, maybe you think about that, doing these signing sessions on a normal club night for kids, and really get the sport back pumping again,
Oh, totally, because, really, if you really look into it, a lot of these drivers, they were one of those kids sitting there with a hot dog, watching
Absolutely.
cars go around and just adoring what they saw out there on the track. And I bet you in their little minds, aside from talking to mum and dad, I would guess, they say, I want to do that and get on and do a speedway race.
Yeah,
and, that's what it is. It's all about
exactly,
making
mate,
them feel important.
100%. So yeah, that's something. But also, people, tomorrow night, Kins, we're back on board again, live, 7:30 with Blendy from Palar Games or Brendan, and we're going to do the release of that. The world of what is it? I should know. I'm terrible.
Yeah, World of
Dirt Racing. Yeah. So, and that's exciting. I'm excited to do that and watch this space for the next couple of weeks with a big announcement. I know Murray's going to probably think I'm going to that. So there's a hint for it. So yeah, it's I'm excited. Good, exciting things to come for us all, Lakins.
Oh, 100%, mate. Look, and that brings the show to a wrap. It's nearly coming up to 20 minutes to 9. We'll be back as well, as Craig said, tomorrow night, catching up with Blendy, talking about the official release of World on Dirt Racing, available on the Apple Store, Play Store. You know how the deal goes. So make sure you get ready for your Apple and Android phones. Out and about, and it's the growth of the game as well. He's developed so much, done a lot of hard work, so asking some of those questions. But also, this coming Sunday, we'll be live with our online series, thanks to Pops. Joined there, another big meeting.
It's North Island champs, I think, isn't it, Kins?
North Island's up in Auckland. Then following that, we got the New Zealand. So the last 3 races last week was our South Islands. North Island's this Sunday, 8:15 to start, and then the NZ to follow up to wrap up our E Series with street stocks. But everyone out there, take care. Summer's around the corner. That means Speedway season is just around the corner. Plus, awesome, before we do wrap up, I just want to wish Randy Tarrant, Keegan, Ethan Levine, and also now Mitch Fickery safe travels over to UK. I represent the country proud, which they will no doubt, and they deserve to be over there as well, because it's been a tough few years not able to race over there overseas, obviously with the obvious COVID. So just wishing them all the best. I think it's next Friday they venture off. If there's a possibility we could squeeze in a show somewhere, we can only see what we can do, but I know they'll be busy next week, and you got to give them that time, because there's been a lot of work, a lot of fundraising, and I would guess to all those who's given generously to help this happen, to get them overseas. We've spoken to 2 before, Keegan and Randy, but we just look forward to that as well. So yeah, wish them all the best, safe travels, and do the country proud, boys.
See you, boys.
See you. Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
It's just go out there and give it your all every time. And
When you're young and you get in your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?